97% of people will go to their graves never knowing what they were truly capable of. Not because they lacked talent, not because they lacked opportunity, but because they never had the courage to be brutally, mercilessly honest with themselves about why they kept stopping short of the life they were born to live. That number should terrify you, because statistically, what you are in that group right now. And if nothing changes today, you will stay there. But here is why you are still watching. Something inside you, buried under the excuses, under the disappointments, under every time you talked yourself out of your own greatness, something in you refuses to accept that this is all there is. That fire, that restlessness, that voice that keeps whispering, there is more for you than this, that is not delusion. That is your destiny trying to get your attention. In the next few minutes, I am going to show you the brutal truths that the most successful people on earth understood before everything changed for them. The truth about pain, the truth about fear, the truth about the gap between where you are and where you are fully capable of being. No motivation without truth. No transformation without discomfort. No destination without an honest reckoning with where you actually are right now. Stay with me, because what comes next does not just change how you think, it changes what you do the moment this ends. The day you stop lying to yourself is the most violent, necessary awakening of your life. Not violent like a fight, violent like surgery, because the lies aren't just thoughts. They're infrastructure. They're built into how you wake up, how you explain your failures, how you justify staying exactly where you are. I'm not ready. The timing's off. I just need one more thing to fall into place. That's not wisdom. That's sedation. And you've been sedated so long you've started calling it peace. Here's what nobody says out loud. Your comfort zone isn't protecting you, it's shrinking you. Every single day you choose familiar over possible, you are not standing still. You are moving backward. The world doesn't pause while you negotiate with your fear. Opportunities don't wait. People who wanted the same things you want, they stopped waiting. They moved. Imperfectly, uncomfortably, terrified. And they moved anyway. Your comfort zone is a coffin with good lighting. It looks safe. It feels reasonable. You've decorated it with routines and excuses and perfectly logical reasons why now isn't the right time. But nothing grows there. No relationship deepens there. No business launches there. No version of you that you're actually proud of was ever built inside that box. The truth you've been running from is this. The life you want exists entirely outside the perimeter of what currently feels safe to you. Every person who ever broke through did it by tolerating discomfort long enough for it to become their new normal. They didn't wait for the fear to leave. They moved while it was still screaming. That's not courage as a feeling. That's courage as a decision. And decisions, not talent, not timing, not luck, are what separate the life you're living from the life you keep dreaming about. Stop waiting. Start bleeding. Because waiting is not a neutral act. It is a slow, quiet surrender dressed up as strategy. Every person who has ever told you the right moment is coming has never built anything worth having. The right moment is a myth manufactured by people too afraid to move. You are not waiting for conditions to improve. You are waiting because starting means you might fail. And failing means the dream you've been protecting in your head, perfect, untouched, still possible, suddenly has to face reality. And reality is brutal, but it is also the only place where anything real is ever built. The gap between who you are and who you're capable of is not a distance problem. It's a decision problem. That gap doesn't close with more information, more preparation, or more time spent studying people who actually did the thing you keep talking about doing. It closes with one brutal, uncomfortable, non-negotiable commitment to stop living below your own potential. And that commitment doesn't happen gradually. It happens in a single moment where you get so disgusted with the distance between your actions and your ambitions that staying the same becomes more painful than changing. Most people never reach that moment because they are too comfortable managing the disappointment. They've built a life around lowering expectations instead of raising performance. They've made peace with the gap. Called it maturity. Called it realism. But deep down, and you know this, it isn't peace. It's grief. It's the quiet grief of a person who knows exactly what they're capable of and chooses every single day not to access it. The distance between your current self and your capable self is not measured in years or resources. It is measured in the number of times you chose comfort over the call. Fear doesn't stop the hungry. It never has. Fear is loud. Yes, it screams at you the moment you step toward anything that actually matters. But here is what the hungry understand that the comfortable never will. Fear is not a stop sign. It is a compass. It points directly at the thing you need to do most. The people who built empires, who rebuilt themselves from nothing, who walked away from safe and ordinary into something extraordinary, they were afraid. Every single one of them. The difference is they were hungrier than they were afraid. Hunger overrides hesitation. Hunger silences the part of your brain that would rather protect you than grow you. When the desire becomes desperate enough, fear becomes irrelevant. Nobody claps for the person who almost did it. The world does not reward almost. There is no standing ovation for the business plan that stayed in the notebook, the conversation that never happened, the leap that was never taken. Almost is invisible. Almost leaves no mark. The graveyard is full of potential that never became performance, of people who had every intention and zero execution. Intention without action is just a more sophisticated form of procrastination. The world only sees what you finish, what you ship, what you show up for completely, not what you were capable of, not what you planned, not what you almost started. The price nobody tells you about isn't failure. It's the slow erosion of self-respect that comes from knowing you're capable of more and consistently choosing less. Every compromise, every maybe tomorrow, every time you mute your own ambition to stay comfortable, it compounds. Not loudly, quietly, until one day you look in the mirror and barely recognize the person looking back. You're not stuck. You're comfortable being stuck, and that distinction is everything. Stuck implies something is holding you. Comfortable means you picked the chains yourself. Nobody trapped you in this life. You negotiated yourself here, one small surrender at a time, until the cage stopped feeling like a cage and started feeling like home. The moment you stop negotiating with mediocrity is the moment your entire life shifts. Not gradually, instantly. Because mediocrity only has power while you're in conversation with it. The second you stop entertaining it, stop justifying it, stop making room for it at the table, it loses all authority over you. What winners do in the dark is exactly what they do in the light. They work, they push, they refuse. Nobody is watching in the dark. No applause, no validation, no audience. And that is precisely where championships are built. You have now heard the truth. You have now heard the truth, not the comfortable version. Not the watered-down, feel-good version that lets you walk away unchanged. The real truth, the kind that sits in your chest and refuses to leave. And that discomfort you're feeling right now, do not run from it. That is the feeling of your life asking you to rise. Every keynote you heard today was not information, it was a mirror. And the question is not whether you recognize yourself in it. The question is what you are going to do now that you have, because knowledge without decision is just entertainment. And you did not come here to be entertained. You came here because something in you is ready, truly ready, to stop performing your potential and start living it. The people who change their lives after moments like this are not special. They are simply the ones who refuse to let the feeling fade before they acted. Do not wait until tomorrow. Do not sleep on this. The version of you that you have been postponing deserves to exist, and it deserves to exist now. This is Alpha Motivation World. And everything we build here exists for one reason, to make sure that when your moment comes, you are ready to meet it without hesitation, without apology, and without limits.